May the peace of the Lord be with you. A very warm welcome to PCGTV News. This bulletin is live from our studio, Osu, Accra. In the headlines, Presbyterian Church of Ghana raises alarm over rising street children, calls for national action. Call for urgent action as opioid abuse escalates across the country. And also, Presbyterian Church of Ghana defends National Cathedral project against Cultural Center proposal. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Georgette Anane. Now to the details. Presbyterian Church of Ghana has expressed deep concern over the increasing number of children living and begging on the streets of Ghana's major cities. According to the church, this growing challenge not only violates the fundamental rights of children, but also exposes them to exploitation, neglect, and daily dangers that can cause long-term physical, psychological, and emotional harm. The Presbyterian Church of Ghana describes the phenomenon as both a national security threat and a spiritual burden, warning that without urgent intervention, these vulnerable children risk becoming victims or even perpetrators of future societal instability. While commending the Ghana Immigration Service's May 16, 2025 operation to remove street beggars, the church observed that the effort was not sustained, as many of the children have since returned to the streets.
The Presbyterian Church of Ghana is alarmed by the increasing number of street children forced into begging in major cities, viewing it as a violation of their rights and a threat to their future. These children, instead of being in school, face daily exploitation, neglect, and danger. And this can cause lasting physical, psychological, and emotional harm. The church considers this both a national security concern and a spiritual burden, warning that without urgent intervention, these children risk becoming victims or perpetrators of future societal instability. While we commend the Ghana Immigration Service's 16th May 2025 operation to remove street beggars, the church notes that the effort has not been sustained, as many children have returned to the streets. We call for a coordinated long-term national strategy involving the government, civil society, religious organizations, and all Ghanaians to eradicate child begging and to protect vulnerable children.
The Presbyterian Church of Ghana is therefore calling for a coordinated, long-term national strategy involving government, civil society, religious organizations, and all Ghanaians to address child begging and safeguard the future of these vulnerable children. Now, moving on to the second story, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana has expressed deep concern over the alarming rise in narcotic and opioid abuse, particularly among young people across the country. In a statement, the church described the trend as not only a health and social crisis, but also a national security threat that jeopardizes Ghana's future. Substances such as tramadol, especially in its high dose, form popularly called red, alongside codeine-based tablets and other opioids, originally meant for medical treatment, are now being widely misused on the streets. The Presbyterian Church of Ghana warned that this dangerous misuse is leading to addiction, mental health disorders, family breakdowns, and in many cases, untimely deaths. This is a direct assault on our nation's future. The lives of our young people are at stake, and we cannot look on unconcerned, the communique stated. While the church commended the ongoing efforts of the Narcotics Control Commission, the Ghana Police Service, and allied agencies, it stressed that the situation continues to escalate. Public spaces, including Kwame Nkrumah Circle, have become hotspots where the devastating effects of drug misuse are clearly visible. Even more disturbing, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana condemned reports carried by MindJoy Online on June 4, 2025, alleging that some teachers in the Bosomifre district were involved in encouraging students to abuse drugs. The church described this revelation as utterly unacceptable and a betrayal of trust. The Presbyterian Church of Ghana has therefore called for tougher enforcement of existing drug laws and harsher penalties for offenders, intensified public education and awareness campaigns targeting schools, communities, and churches, increased rehabilitation and counseling centers to support victims of addiction, partnerships between government, civil society, and faith-based organizations to confront the menace. The church pledged to stand in solidarity with affected families and committed itself to using its platforms, including congregational outreach, schools, and health facilities, to help fight the drug abuse epidemic.
The Presbyterian Church of Ghana is deeply concerned about the increased misuse of narcotics and opioids, particularly among young people, warning that it poses a threat to national security and constitutes a moral crisis. Drugs such as tramadol and in a higher dose, referred to as red, codeine-based tablets, and other opioids meant initially for medical purposes are now being misused on the streets, causing addiction, mental health issues, family breakdowns, and death. The church condemns this damaging trend, viewing it as a direct assault on the country's future, and stands in solidarity with affected families while we demand urgent measures. While the Presbyterian Church of Ghana commends the efforts of the Narcotics Control Commission, the Ghana Police Service, and other agencies, the church observes that the problem is also escalating, with public areas like Kwame Nkrumah Circle clearly showing its impact. Even more troubling is a report published on MindJoyOnline.com on June 4, 2025, concerning the alleged involvement of some teachers in the Bosomifre district in encouraging drug abuse among students, which we see as utterly unacceptable.
As the country continues to grapple with the issue, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana insists that urgent and united action is needed to safeguard Ghana's youth and secure a healthy, morally grounded future. Now, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana has expressed its strong disapproval of reports suggesting that the proposed National Cathedral may be converted into a National Cultural Convention Center, as outlined in the 24-hour economy policy document published on July 4, 2025 by MindJoyOnline.com. According to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, such a move would be unacceptable as it undermines the original vision and sacred purpose of the cathedral. However, the church has welcomed the swift clarification and dismissal of this claim by the Minister in charge of Government Communication at the Presidency, Honorable Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, describing his assurance as heartwarming. The Presbyterian Church of Ghana further used the opportunity to invite the Christian community, civil society, and other stakeholders to explore innovative funding solutions to support the completion of the cathedral. The church emphasized that the project remains a national and spiritual legacy that must be preserved with integrity and commitment.
As a church, we consider the intention to convert the proposed National Cathedral to a National Cultural Convention Center, as stated in the 24-hour economy policy document published on 4 July 2025, as unacceptable. The news dismissing this claim on the convention by the minister in charge of government communication at the presidency, Honorable Felix Ofosu-Kwati, is rather heartwarming to us. The PCG invites the Christian community and other stakeholders to explore innovative funding solutions for this project.
On Tuesday, August 19, 2025, the Dangbetong Presbytery, led by the chairperson Reverend Abraham Jabba Okai, together with Reverend John Tete Apode, Director of DSS, and Mr. Gideon Konote, Property Manager, presented a generous cash donation of 10,000 Ghanaian cedi to Kobo Girls Presbyterian Senior High School. The donation is aimed at facilitating the completion of a mechanized borehole to address the school's pressing water challenges. The Presbytery's timely intervention comes in response to the school's ongoing struggle with an unreliable water supply and deliberate damage to water infrastructure by some residents of Adome. Their support underscores a commitment to the welfare of the students and the broader school community. Mrs. Bernice Noel Mensah Akute, headmistress of Kobo Girls, expressed heartfelt gratitude to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and the Presbytery leadership. She remarked, "This donation will significantly aid the completion of our borehole project started by the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, ensuring consistent access to water for our students. The instability of supply from Ghana Water and the repeated sabotage of our pipelines have made this initiative even more urgent than ever." Present at the meeting were Reverend Abraham Jabba Okai, Chairperson, Dangbetong Presbytery; Reverend John Tete Apode, Department of Social Services, Presbytery Director; Mr. Gideon Konote, Property Manager of the Presbytery; Mrs. Bernice Noel Mensah Akute, Headmistress, Kobo Girls; Mrs. Patience Asafoeje, Assistant Head Academic, Kobo Girls; Mrs. Opokuya Ampedu Saki, Assistant Head Domestic, Kobo Girls, and also Reverend Mrs. Gina Sasudankwa, School Chaplain, Kobo Girls.
School. We have a challenge now with Kobo Girls. The challenge is that their water system is not in good order. We are trying to raise funds to support them. The borehole is dark. It's left with a few things that will add to it to make water flow from their own system, where if the Ghana Water locks their pipe, then we can use the borehole. You know, because they are a girls' school, all of them are girls. And you can imagine what will happen when they all become women in a particular period. It's a very difficult time.
Away from that, to the glory of the Triune God, the Bronga Hafo Presbytery Nananum Fellowship of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana has announced that it is steadily preparing towards its official inauguration scheduled for October 31, 2025. The announcement was made by Reverend Augustine Ejapon Bai, Presbytery Director of Economical and Social Relations, during the Fellowship's General Meeting held on Tuesday, August 12, 2025, at the Presbytery office. According to Reverend Bai, the upcoming events will be significant royal gathering officially recognizing the fellowship as a group dedicated to pursuing God's mission among the royal fraternity. The fellowship aims to promote Christ-centered principles, teaching, and preaching the gospel within the chieftaincy institution. Highlighting the importance of the occasion, it is expected that the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nanopare Kwache, will grace the ceremony and officiate. This, he noted, reflects the mission of the church to bring all creation to glorify God. In a brief address, Reverend Benjamin Appiah, chairperson of the presbytery, reiterated the vision behind the long-awaited initiative. He emphasized that the fellowship is not a social club, but rather a movement to mobilize traditional leaders for the work of Christ. This is not a social gathering. The fellowship's vision is to prepare Nananom to uphold the sacred institution of chieftaincy with godly and sound moral values, he affirmed. Following deliberations, members of the fellowship visited the Peniel Retreat Center at Ayakumaso, where ongoing infrastructural projects are underway. Reverend Appiah expressed delight at the progress, describing the center as a place designed to provide a serene environment for spiritual exercises. Moved by the vision, Nananom pledged their support towards the completion of the project. The inauguration of Brongahafo Presbytery Nananom Fellowship is set to mark a historic moment for the Brongahafo Presbytery, strengthening the church's mission to engage traditional leadership in advancing the kingdom of God. PCGTV Spotlight is up next with focus on the Presbyterian Church of Ghana Ramsia Congregation, Abetifi.
In fact, Ramsey about 1876. That is our starting story. The first chapel, no, there is another small chapel. That's the first chapel, 1876. But where you see here, over history now is about 1910, and you see us all that we are with maintenance. What makes it unique is that this place is the first to be instituted in the whole of when you read the history, and it is the let's say the backbone of almost all the churches around. From here, evangelists were raised to go to other places to plant churches, and now we have, by God's grace, we have 18 districts all over, but the original church is here. That is Abetifi here, and that is very, very good. People are evangelistic. People want to spread the word of God all over the place. When you read the history, there was a fetish priest called Atia. He was causing trouble during Ramses' time, but because of prayer, especially a prayer team formed by Men's Fellowship, they were able to dislodge this fetish priest, and from there, the spiritual side raised up. We are still working on the means of evangelism, bringing people to the church, even though there are hindrances, but we are still moving forward by God's grace.
this is where we draw the curtains on PCGTV News today. My name is Georgette Anane. Do have a great day and enjoy the rest of our programs.